Hey dorks, before I begin this episode of Around the Point, I want to take this time to make a quick announcement regarding next week's show. So next week, I will be conducting a Q&A on Around the Point. Now, I haven't really done a Q&A in a long time, so I want to take the opportunity with next week's episode of Around the Point to do a Q&A. And I hope a lot of you send in your questions for next week. Now, how will this work? Well, I'm going to explain to you how the procedure for the Q&A will work. So here's how it's going to go down. You can ask me whatever you want. You can ask me 3 questions per person. Okay, keep that in mind. However, you can only send in your questions on Twitter. My Twitter handle is on the screen. It's @HeelSteven. When you do submit your question, please use the hashtag ATPoint so I know it's for the Q&A. And again, you can ask whatever you want. It can be about professional wrestling, combat sports, life. It doesn't matter. Ask me whatever the fuck you want. But one thing I'm also going to request as well. Please do not, and I repeat this again, do not send a repeated question. What I mean is, before you send in a question, please look at the questions that are already being sent. You don't want to be that dork to send in a repeated question. I've had that happen numerous times in the past, and it's just fucking annoying. So again, I look forward to seeing what you guys send for the Q&A. I will be doing the Q&A video, if you will, for Around the Point on next week's show. That will be on the 22nd or 23rd, one of those 2 dates, but you kind of get the idea. Nonetheless, guys, I look forward to seeing what you guys send. And with that being said, dorks, let's begin Around the Point. Now, yes, I'm fully aware it is Saturday. It is June 15th, 2019. Usually, with Around the Point, I do them on Sundays. But being that tomorrow, 2 things. Okay, 2 things tomorrow. Number 1, it's Father's Day, right? And no, I'm not a father, but I've had women call me daddy before. So to all my dudes out there, if your lady, if a shorty ever once in their lives called you daddy in bed, my G, it's your holiday too. Just saying. But in all seriousness, again, I'm celebrating Father's Day with my family, my uncles, and all that fun stuff. My father isn't here. He's in Peru. He'll be back in August. I miss my father, but nonetheless, he's enjoying his retirement. But that being said, again, tomorrow I'm spending it with my family. And also, I have work tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. So I'm not going to have time tomorrow morning to record Around the Point. Hence why I'm doing it right now on a Saturday. Father's Day weekend. Thank you all for tuning in once again to another installment of Around the Point. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. What the fuck are you waiting for, you fucking dork? Hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up. Hey, look at me. I'm like Fonzie from Happy Days. Hey! Hey! Also, share the video throughout your entire social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, wherever you dorks share videos in general. And as you can see, I am in the new office. Yep, I am officially now a Mac user. I don't know if you guys know that by now, but I did say that a couple episodes ago that I am officially a Mac user. Now, iMac, Apple user, I'm sorry. That's the correct term, I know. I'm an Apple user now. Holy shit. Don't get me wrong, I still miss my laptop from time to time. I really do. But I will say this, in a positive note of all this, the quality has been better. This past Thursday, myself, Mike, and Walter did episode 298 of the Team Hill podcast, which is available on all podcasting platforms as we speak: iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeart Radio, Google Podcast, iTunes, and all PodBean as well. So if you've not yet downloaded the episode, what the fuck are you waiting for as well? Give it a download now and listen to it whenever you have a chance. We are almost at 300 episodes. And the fact that episode 300 will take place the week of my birthday. The week of my birthday is episode 300. That is more like coincidental, if you will. What a coincidence, if you will. Episode 300 happening the week of my birthday, and I'm excited. I really, really am. I never really thought that the Team Hill podcast would reach 300 episodes. From what was usually a Skype call with 12 people just talking random shit that started off in 2012 to now it being 300 episodes and all that fun stuff. And I thank all of you for listening and all that fun stuff, especially also with Around the Point. This is my, respective podcast that I do on my own with Around the Point. I decided to change things up a bit. People have asked me as well, will Around the Point eventually be a live show again? Yes and no. As in, it will not be every single week a live show. Eventually, I will bring this as a live show, maybe once a month or so like that. I'll give you guys an announcement on that as well. But I like this format of me sitting here in my new office. I gotta get a new chair, okay? This wooden chair that spins around, yeah, it's cool and all, but I will have to get a game chair as well. Love to get a fucking game chair, okay? But nonetheless, guys, I hope you guys are ready for this episode. There's so much to get into in just a short amount of time. But I hope you guys fasten your seatbelts, smoke your blunts, got them rolled up, what have you. Grab your beverage, your cold beverage, because it's a fucking weekend. It's Father's Day weekend. To all my fathers out there, to all my uncles out there, happy Father's Day. To every father out there that is out there grinding as we speak, trying to set a good example, trying to set good morals for their children. Happy Father's Day. To all the dads out there that are getting up early in the morning, embracing the grind, trying to put food on the table for their families in general. Happy Father's Day. To all the dudes out there that are just there trying to set a good example for people. Happy Father's Day. To not just the father, but all the women. The women out there that are both mom and dad for their kids. Is your holiday too. And like I said earlier in the podcast, to all the dudes out there who had their ladies or any woman in general ever call them daddy in bed, it's your holiday too, my G. Me, I am an uncle, and I want to keep it that way. I know I'm almost 30. My birthday's coming up in a couple of days. I'm about to turn 29. I'm about to be fucking 30. I'm not even a father yet. And usually people ask me, you don't want kids? And like, yeah, I do. Eventually, yeah, I'll have my children. But right now, what I want to do, honestly, is just enjoy life. There are things I want to do first before I feel like, hey, it's time to bring a kid to this world, or me and a woman, if you will, get together, or get down and we decide to bring a child to this world. But right now, it's not that time. It's funny because mostly everyone in my family around this age, were already fathers or parents and shit like that. And me, I'm different. I think that's very unique at this time and age. But other than that, I gotta take a quick sip of this beverage real quick. You already know what time it is, bruh. It's time for that Game Fuel. That's right, Mountain Dew Amped Game Fuel. My personal favorite flavor, the Charged Berry Blast, if you will. It's a hot summer day here in Jersey, but nonetheless, there's so much to get into today for Around the Point. And I welcome your feedback, your thoughts in the comment threads below of this video. Or if not, let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven. Again, use the hashtag ATPoint for all that fun stuff. It was announced yesterday on a Friday from the good people over at All Elite Wrestling. Tickets went on sale for All Out. And literally in 15 minutes, from tickets going on sale, All Out became sold out. As you guys know, All Out goes down. All Out goes down this Saturday, August 31st, 2019, from the Sears Center in Chicago, Illinois. The home of All In is now sold out. They sold out in 15 minutes per Cody Rhodes and people within the AEW brass. And I'm going to say this. Congratulations to AEW for selling this out in 15 minutes. They announced also this week that it'll be Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. You also have on the card Hangman Page versus Chris Jericho to crown the first ever AEW World Champion. So that in itself as well, again, it's already looking to be a stacked card. It's going to be a great show. And again, tickets sold out in 15 minutes. Think about this, right? All In sold out in 10 minutes or so. I think Double or Nothing sold out in the same capacity. And now All Out selling out in 15 minutes. This will be, when you think about it, some people will say it's the third show because All In was like the beginning, if you will. To me, honestly, no, because when people don't realize All In was funded by Ring of Honor. People will not admit that, but it was true. To me, this is their second biggest show. I know they have the Fight for the Fallen show. They have the Fyter Fest show coming up too. But to me, those shows are just throwaway shows. To me, this is the big show for them. This is like, I think, their WrestleMania. And it's crazy because I was planning on, I don't know if it'll still happen or not. I wanted to attend the show. Tickets are gone. They're sold out. But then again, though, there's probably still ways to get tickets. I'm pretty sure through StubHub. Last time I checked, they were at $1,000 per ticket. These damn scalpers, bro. I'm telling you right now, they don't give a fuck, yo. These scalpers are fucking assholes, man. Seriously. It's like Cody and the people of AEW trying to give you these comfortable prices, which they were. And then here you go and just swoop. But I think at the same time, though, it says a lot about AEW. The fact that they sold out in 15 minutes. And you know what? You can make the argument, all the scalpers and this and that, and they're selling out. But the fact is, hey, they sold out. They sold out in 15 minutes. And there's a lot of buzz on AEW right now. AEW had a great show with Double or Nothing. Even though, to my opinion, I felt like it was a long of a show. 5 hours should not be, to me, a show should not be 5 hours. That's what I'm hoping for with All Out. I hope it's not another 5 hour show. I hope it's not. Because one thing that I've learned, and here's the thing about it, I don't want to come off like a fanboy or anything like that, or a hater. But I'm being honest here. A wrestling show should not be 5 hours long for me to enjoy a show. Or for everyone to get their shit in 5 hours. No. I don't think it has to be. Granted, I know New Japan, they do their show, they're 4 hours long. That's fine. 4 hours is fine. 3 hours is, I think, the minimum, if you will. But 5 hours to me is a hell no. Granted, I know WrestleMania does the same shit. WrestleMania, they're like 8 hours long and shit like that. But to me, though, again, it says a lot about AEW. The fact that they sold out another show in less than, again, 20 minutes or so, it's big. And congrats to the Cody, congrats to the Young Bucks, Kenny, and all those guys over there in AEW. But more importantly, congrats to Tony Khan. But that being said, too, I think a lot of the AEW diehard need to understand one thing, too. And again, because you have those people out there. You have the diehards out there that are jumping out the window for this shit. And it's great. It's fine and dandy. I think at the same time, I think people need to realize, too, I think this is the last time that you will see that crazy fucking indie style of an event. I guess this is the last time. Because again, after this comes October and they're on TNT. And again, don't expect what you saw at Double or Nothing or at All In or I guess even on this show happening on TNT. It's going to change. I guarantee you it's going to change. And I think people don't understand that. Because, again, they're answering to a big market as TNT Turner Network. But that being said, though, again, with All Out right now, it's crazy. It's insane. They sold out in 15 minutes. I'm still thinking if I should go or not. I want to go. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do want to go. I got family out there in Chicago. My brother lives out there. I said this before. But we'll see what happens. It was funny, though. There's a report I read, and people even told me this as well. People that actually went to Double or Nothing, stuff like that. It was sold out, but there's people that managed to get tickets for $15. So that says something too, if you will. But nonetheless, congrats to All Elite Wrestling. I know I'm being repetitive with this shit, but guys, give me your thoughts. Your thoughts on AEW selling out 15 minutes. Even though I've been saying on social media, no, it's Chris Jericho, man. Chris Jericho sold this show out in 15 minutes. But I'm doing it to tease, okay? I'm doing it to joke around and shit. But AEW has a lot of eyeballs on them right now. They do. But at the end of the day, too, let's get one thing clear. They are not the WWE killing machine. Yes, I understand WWE has their problem. They do. But I think if WWE is going to respond, because people expect, oh, how will WWE respond to this thing? They're not. If they are, they're going to use NXT. Just like they did at TakeOver 25. I even said this. I thought TakeOver 25 was better than Double or Nothing. Because to me, less is good. Believe it or not. And I've said that before and I'll say it again. You do not have to have your shows long as shit, like 5 hours long, to be a fucking amazing show. No. It should not take 5 hours for everyone in the fucking card to get their shit in. Okay? Look at takeovers. Takeovers are like less than 3 hours long. And they're probably WWE's best shows that they have in that company. But nonetheless, I look forward to seeing what other matches are announced for All Out and what happens once they go to TNT. Because to me, I think this right now, right? Yes, it's great that they're selling out these shows, what have you. But I want to see what happens. And this is just me, of course, okay? I want to see what happens the moment they move to TNT and they start doing monthly pay-per-views. Will they be able to do this on a monthly base? That is the question as well. I think people they brushed off the shoulder. They make it as an afterthought. They ignore that. Oh, we'll get there when we'll get there. But I think if you are a fan, you need to think about that too for a second. Because it's funny. A lot of the diehard AEW fans will crap on WWE on with all this shit. But let's be real about it. Will AEW, that's the question. Will All Elite Wrestling, will they be able to sell out a big seat arena every single month on a consistent base if they are to do monthly pay-per-view? That's the question. Also, what's going to happen with these second, markets out, these second party markets out there with Stitch, with StubHub and SeatGeek and shit like that? We shall see. But nonetheless, congratulations, All Elite Wrestling, selling out in 15 fucking minutes. Moving along, but again, guys, give me your thoughts as always, your thoughts on AEW selling out in 15 minutes and stuff like that. Again, guys, I will be doing a Q&A this coming week for another installment of Around the Point, my Q&A session, if you will, and all that fun stuff. Moving into New Japan Pro Wrestling, it was announced this past weekend on the Dominion show that took place that there's been updates on the G1 Climax and the participants taking place on that event. Now, in case you guys don't know, the G1 Climax is basically this massive tournament that New Japan has every single year. It's 2 blocks. There's an A block, there's a B block, and both blocks compete in a round-robin tournament. The two top guys on each block meet in a finals match, and the winner of both of the semifinal matches meet in one finale to crown the winner of the G1 Climax, and the winner of the whole thing gets a title match at the IWGP title at Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. Usually these are considered the most grueling tournaments in wrestling. The who's who, if you will. The list of people that have wrestled on this tournament over the years, like AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, Naito, Tanahashi, Okada, you name it. You kind of get the idea, okay? And the big issue now is, okay, they announced some crazy name. Not the issue like in a bad way, but like the big news that came out is some of the names that have been announced for the G1 Climax coming out of Dominion. They got people, okay, I'm intrigued now. And if you watch Dominion, they did say on the show, or in this case on their own right, Jon Moxley, who is currently the IWGP US Champion, the former Dean Ambrose, has announced that he will take part in the G1 Climax. Now, that's crazy. That's huge as well, because Jon Moxley got into New Japan a couple weeks ago, won the US title from Juice Robinson, and now here he is announcing that he will take part in the G1 Climax. And it's funny because if you watch Jon Moxley now, he's having fun. You can tell that he's happy doing what he's doing right now. And I think that's what it's all about, too, at the end of the day. But that being said, I look forward to seeing what he does. Just think of the matches you can do in the G1 with Jon Moxley in it. Jon Moxley versus Okada. Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito, Jon Moxley versus Tomohiro Ishii, Jon Moxley versus, I wish he was still there, but he's injury after Shibata, if Shibata was still around. You imagine a Shibata Moxley match? Holy shit. How insane that would be if Shibata was still going at it till this very day. Also announced for the G1 Climax is Shingo Takagi, the former, or I'm sorry, not the former, but the second place winner, the second place, right? He took second place in the Best of the Super Junior this year. He lost to Will Ospreay, and he won his match at Dominion. After the match, he faced Kojima, by the way. He beat Kojima. At the end of the match, he grabs on the microphone. He talks about how he wants to take part in the G1. And you think about it, right? G1 is for heavyweights. And Shingo has been considered as a junior heavyweight. Even though he's built like a heavyweight, but he moves like a junior heavyweight. And it's like when he came to New Japan, he's like, wait, why is he even a junior heavyweight? But fucking hell, that guy can move. And the speed on this guy is fucking insane. And again, the fact that he's now in the G1 is going to be very interesting to see what happens. The matches he's going to be part in, all that stuff. And also the same fact that Shingo is part of LIJ, that's Ingobernable de Japón. So who knows? Maybe we'll see an Evil versus, Shingo match, or maybe a Shingo versus Naito, Shingo versus Jon Moxley. I forgot to mention too, Jon Moxley versus Evil. Holy shit! Jon Moxley versus Sonata, and vice versa in general. Like all these matches you can make in the G1 are gonna be fucking insane. I'm gonna try to review the G1. I'm gonna try to do it. I know that. From time I said I was going to do it, but eventually I don't because I don't have time. But I'm going to try to make an effort this year to review the G1 coming up when it happens, coming up in the summer. Which, by the way, it kicks off in America. It kicks off in Dallas, Texas, by the way. Also announced for the G1 is shocked the fuck out of me when it happened at Dominion. So he had Shibata come out. He comes out and he points to the entrance ramp. And who comes out? Kenta. The former Hideo Itami in WWE is back in Japan. And now he's part of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It would caught me by surprise that I thought this guy was going to be going back to Pro Wrestling Noah. And here he is. He shows up at NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's wearing a TakeOver shirt because, again, years ago, him and Shibata were a team called the TakeOver. So, kind of fitting there, what have you. He gets in the ring and he announces that he is entering the G1 Climax. And it's funny because he did an interview on the New Japan YouTube channel. Like, they have an American podcast, right? And I think it's their English spokesperson for New Japan. I forgot the guy's name already. But he interviewed Kenta here, and he said in the interview that he wants to wrestle more than anybody than Jon Moxley, so he can kick his ass. Because he's been bored, because again, he knows for a fact that boring Hideo Itami can't do anything. But Kenta is a whole different story, and it's true. Kenta was a fucking beast back in the day. Kenta was fucking amazing. And when he went to WWE, it's like, okay, there's that hope that maybe, Kenta will do the same that he did in Pro Wrestling Noah. I remember when he signed, they brought a Hulk Hogan, they brought Jimmy Hart, they had him sign his contract in the middle of the ring. As it was a big deal. It was considered a big deal. A big Japanese name, right? And then he got hurt. They changed his name to Hideo Itami. He got hurt, and it looked like whatever plan they had for him was just completely, just fuck it. It's done. It's over with. It's not happening no more, right? Hence why I even said, at Beast in the East, it was supposed to be Kevin Owens versus Hideo Itami. I'm sorry, Kenta, for the NXT title, but instead it became Finn Balor when they had that match in Japan. That was supposed to be Itami's moment. And then he comes back, he gets hurt again. And when he gets hurt again, the idea of him being that Japanese star, right, for WWE was vanishing even more because guess what? They signed at the time, Shinsuke Nakamura, and then they signed Asuka. And look what NXT did for Nakamura. Look what NXT did for Asuka. It literally made them stars, like bigger deals. Granted, they were stars already, if you will, for the hardcore wrestling fan. But all this literally made Hideo Itami a fucking afterthought. He was the forgotten Japanese guy, basically. And then he gets hurt again. And then you bring him up to he has that one match with Bobby Roode at TakeOver Chicago. And then he goes up to the main roster. And you put him in 205 Live. Where he's like, respect me, respect me. So Kenta in general has a big chip on his shoulder. He really, really does. And not for nothing, but if you look at New Japan right now, New Japan is very unique right now. Because they have options right now. Yes, they have this working relationship with the Ring of Honor. And Ring of Honor is, in my opinion right now, feeling that AEW effect. People say it's WWE, but no, motherfucker. It's the Ring of Honor who's feeling it right now. They are feeling the AEW effect. And don't be surprised. Yes, my understanding, New Japan is loyal to Ring of Honor right now, but I guarantee you, come 2020, I'm calling it right now, New Japan will dump Ring of Honor and will jump with AEW. I guarantee it's going to happen. And you know what? The one match I would love to see, more than anything right now, I guess, from Kenta in New Japan. And no, it's not with Tetsuya Naito. No, it's not with Tanahashi, nor with Okada, which they'll be fun matches, don't get me the fuck wrong. Or not even with Jon Moxley. The one match I would love to see in New Japan from Kenta is Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay versus Kenta, I think, will be a very, very intriguing match. Both on the styles and just the maturity of Will Ospreay in his own. Will Ospreay has come a long way. I will say that right now. And if there's any guy right now that if New Japan should definitely consider, putting, I guess I'm not saying the weight of the company on one shoulder, but you know what? Looking at, okay, he can see someone that we can possibly one day put the world title on is Will Ospreay. Hell, I would not be surprised. It may not be this Wrestle Kingdom, but maybe in a couple years from now, you have Will Ospreay headline the Tokyo Dome. It's a possibility. Anything can happen in pro wrestling. So why not? Why the fuck not? And Will Ospreay, who could also, I think, go in that heavyweight style eventually. Don't be surprised. Hey, they added Will Ospreay into the G1. Can you imagine if they did? They added Will Ospreay. Think about it. You have Shingo, you have Moxley, you have Kenta, you have Will Ospreay in the G1. Not to mention the fact that you have also, Kota Ibushi. Can you imagine Kota Ibushi versus Moxley? Kota Ibushi versus Kenta? Shut up and take my fucking money right now. Holy fucking shit. This is going to be a very intriguing summer with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm saying that right now. I'm saying it right now. You know what's even funny? And it really surprised me that when both Kenta and Nakamura were in NXT, they never thought of doing a takeover match between these two guys. Not once. Maybe they had a match at a house show in Japan, but they never really considered doing like a one-on-one match. That really surprised the fuck out of me. But hey, it is what it is. Guys, give me your thoughts on this whole G1 Climax coming up, your favorite to win, and your thoughts on Kenta joining, your thoughts on Moxley joining, your thoughts on Shingo joining. Hell, there's even word going on that Jericho might be entering the G1. Because remember, Jericho wrestled Okada. And at the end of the match, he did a press conference with the press. And he talked about potentially entering the G1 and facing Okada, facing Tanahashi. That's something in the realms as well. Again, Jericho in the G1 will not catch me by surprise at all, people. Will not catch me at all by fucking surprise. So I'll be all in for that too. To think about that, yeah, Jericho into that too. The fact that Jericho's also doing AEW. And again, Jericho and Moxley have these special deals where they can work AEW and New Japan right now. To my understanding, Jericho is different than Mox right now. But Moxley, until AEW goes on TNT, until then, he can right now work the independents. He can show up in New Japan. Hell, he can even show up in Impact Wrestling if he wanted to. But once October hits, it's a wrap, homie. It's a wrap. TNT AEW bound, bruh. That's how it's gonna go down. I'm saying this right now. You guys should definitely consider getting onto this right here. Again, Mountain Dew Amp, sponsor me. This is fucking amazing. Sponsor me. God damn it. Fucking sponsor me, dorks. Now let's get into, speaking of Impact Wrestling, Killer Kross. Killer Kross, you all know who he is, right? Wrestling Impact Wrestling, AAA. Very, popular guy in Impact Wrestling right now. Currently dating Scarlett Bordeaux. Lucky bastard, but that's around the point. But he's in a very unique situation right now. So Killer Kross did an interview with the Wrestling Prespective Podcast, which is hosted by Dennis Farrell and Petey Williams. And in his interview, he talked about, him, I guess, why he asked for his release from Impact. Because again, he did ask for a release from Impact Wrestling that was not granted because of pay. Killer Kross claims that he wants more money and this and that. He wants a bigger contract. So this is basically a miniature transcript, if you will, from the interview that he did with the Wrestling Prespective Podcast, basically. And he stated that he asked for release were 100% true. And this was, again, a transcript that, again, apparently Kross was looking to get a new six-figure deal with guaranteed money. Impact, however, countered with a restructured 3-year contract worth well below that. And this is what he basically said, in quote, "I will humbly say that I barely even existed to the pro wrestling world or the industry prior to Impact Wrestling," said Kross. "I've never asked, in my opinion, for anything that I didn't think that I deserved. I didn't think that I would be asking for anything I couldn't contribute back. I was led to believe that it was not available." Adding, end quote, "If you get a job and you are told that something you're looking for is not available, then you come to find out 6 months later that that's not true, it has been available and other people have it, you can imagine that you'd be a little disparaged." Kross then explained that his personal circumstances have changed over the past year, and he now has family he has to take care of, which is one of the other reasons he asked for a raise. In quote, I personally really don't really need much," he continued. "But it's just different when you have people to take care of. Circumstances change in life. You can't anticipate it." And that's very true. I think it may not be the fact that he has kids and a wife, but maybe he has family that he's to look after, like an elderly grandmother, a parent, what have you. And again, medical bills can be a pain in the ass. Again, I'm just making an assumption right now. Okay, keep that in mind too. But I can understand that perspective. Again, when it comes to family, to look after a family and all that stuff, things change. It really, really does. In quote here, being told to get another job by your job, that's fucked up. You're struggling to make ends meet, taking care of people, and the job that you can barely afford to have tells you to get another job so you can keep that job. It's like working in a corporation, being told to go work at McDonald's. It's a weird feeling, Kross admitted. Keep this in mind, Kross is allowed to take indie bookings per his Impact contract, but the wrestler believes it's a short-term solution that could go up in flames should he get injured. Which could be very true as well. Hey, you're taking independent bookings as much as you can, because Impact, they don't do live shows every single fucking week. They do like taping. They do like 6 months of tapings whatever it may be. And then they can take independent bookings here and there on the weekends. And again, every match that you take on the indies can be a risk. You don't know what the fuck you're getting. You don't know what the fuck you're getting involved into. And one injury can ruin everything. It really, really can. Kross concluded on the subject saying, "Speaking between the lines, I found out how much people are being paid. I wanted to be paid on the same scale as that. I wasn't asking for anything that was honestly unreasonable. In all sincerity, and I'm not gonna bullshit you guys, I really wasn't. That's okay if the company does not agree that I'm worth that. I will not take offense to that. That's okay. It's not my company. I'm just an employee, and I'm not saying that because I think I'm supposed to say that. But if they really feel that way after 1 year, if they feel that I'm not worth what I'm asking professionally, kindly please let me go somewhere else, and I'll prove it to everyone that I can draw what I'm asking for." As it currently stands, Kross and Impact are still working together, at least for now. Now again, this is a guy that, and I agree, it amazes me that Killer Kross at this point in juncture is not the Impact World Champion. Here's a guy that you can build your company around. Eli Drake is gone. Okay? And here's Killer Kross, who's tearing it up on Impact Wrestling. He's tearing it up in AAA. And maybe the fact that, hey, if you're Impact Wrestling, hey, we know that you're also committed to AAA. So if we're going to give you this type of deal that you want, we need you 100% committed to us and not AAA. Maybe that's the situation too. Who the fuck knows? But is it fucked up on Impact's perspective for not giving him what he wants? Yes and no. Because again, for Impact Wrestling, this is a business. It's a business. And yes, there are some guys that you can look at the roster that may have that type of pay that Kross is asking for. But I think at the same time, the name value weighs more too. Let's say I guarantee you, someone like Johnny Impact has that kind of a deal. To name a few, I guess someone like an Eddie Edwards might have that kind of a six-figure deal. I could be wrong completely. Keep that in mind too. All right. I guarantee you someone like a Brian Cage might have that six-figure deal. Tessa Blanchard, would be surprised she doesn't. But I think at the same time, someone like Killer Kross, who's tearing it up wherever he's going at right now. And again, he's someone that I can definitely see, if Impact Wrestling doesn't work out, possibly going to AEW and getting what he's worth. And proving the world that, he is worth what he's asking for and more down the road. Or hell, maybe even WWE. We don't fucking know. But I did say before, you know what? Ring of Honor is feeling the AEW effect. I guarantee you, though, somewhere down the road, Impact Wrestling will feel that effect as well. I guarantee you that. But guys, give me your thoughts on this whole Killer Kross situation. Your thoughts on him wanting a raise and Impact doesn't want to give it to him. Is he in the right? Is he in the wrong? Give me your thoughts. I welcome your feedback. Now, before we wrap up this show here, guys, god damn it, pal. So, you guys remember this a couple of weekends ago, it was Taker and Goldberg at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. Now, this is something that I read from a Facebook page called Hacker Hameen, which I follow and all that stuff. They're a great guy. They have an amazing podcast as well. A bunch of podcasts, by the way. And this is posted on the page. Now, I'm going to read it because it's interesting. And let's assume what I'm going to say is true. Okay? Let's assume what I'm saying or I'm about to say is true. And all this goes down. This would be very, very crazy when you think about it. Okay? So, again, this was posted on the Facebook page. And again, take it with a grain of salt. Give me your thoughts as well on all this too. And quote, original plans for Bill Goldberg and The Undertaker. WWE's original plan, as it still stands at the moment, is to have Goldberg wrestle on 3 straight Saudi Arabia specials. God damn it. Goldberg is said to be paid $6 million for his appearances and matches. Prior to the Super Showdown match between him and Undertaker, you heard first time ever quite a bit. That was done on purpose, but there is still said to be 2 more Goldberg-Undertaker matches this year, along with the Goldberg-Roman Reigns match in 2020. To get these Saudi shows, however, the plan was to do Goldberg-Undertaker 2 at SummerSlam with 50-50 booking in play, and Goldberg getting his win back, and then the rubber match at Hell in a Cell. After that pay-per-view, Goldberg would have his second Saudi Arabia appearance and get ran into the Shane McMahon Roman Reigns storyline by being Reigns' partner versus Shane McMahon and a partner of Shane's choosing, most likely Drew McIntyre. On Goldberg's third round in Saudi Arabia, a WWE Championship match would be taking place between him and Roman Reigns. This show will be possibly scheduled either May or June of 2020. It's worth noting that these close to the situation thought Goldberg would be retiring after the match at Super Showdown. However, the only talk of retiring had to do with his headbutting of the door before the match, as that was a cause for concern before the match even began from Vince McMahon. Lastly, Goldberg was brought back to WWE on this solid deal due to him talking with AEW. So let me get this straight. We're going to get more of Goldberg in Saudi Arabia. And the way I look at it too, and again, the match from a couple weekends ago in Saudi Arabia between these two guys was the bleeding shits. And I know Mark Henry does not want to hear say that. I know Mark Henry is very, very, concerned. He's very defensive, if you will, offended, if you will, if we disrespected the match or we criticize for whatever the fuck is worth. Yes, Goldberg's a legend, all the fuck you want, so is Taker, okay? But at the same time, these two guys should not wrestle anymore. And I get it, it's Saudi money, it's $6 million, I can only imagine what the fuck they're paying Taker, but no, there's no need to see a Roman Reigns and Bill Goldberg match. No, there's no need for Bill Goldberg to go back to Saudi Arabia to be placed in a tag team match where, oh my God, this guy will get gassed at in 30 seconds, especially in that Saudi heat, in that fucking desert. No, there's no need to do a Goldberg Undertaker match at SummerSlam. There's no need for it. I don't need to see it anymore. I don't. I fucking don't. Especially in a Hell in a Cell match. Fuck that. No, bruh. It's stupid. It makes no sense. I understand. It's money. Money talks, especially that Saudi money. But god damn it, yo. It's just for the fucking Saudi people. They're going to lose their fucking shit because they're more marks than we fucking are here in the States. And you can fucking give them, I don't know, the Brooklyn Brawler and fucking Doink the Clown and they'll lose their shit. But I think WWE needs to come to terms and realize, you know what? We can't be bringing out these fucking old legends anymore if this is going to keep on happening. Take precaution, people. Take fucking precaution. This makes no sense to me at all. I hope it's just a rumor. I hope it's not really legit. I really, really hope so. But then again, if they're throwing him all this money just so he can stop talking to AEW, damn, bro. Again, you can even say, hey, WWE probably feeling the effect right now too. But even if that, I just think right now, no, it should not be happening. No, if you really, I guess, want to do a Taker match, even that, no. I don't. You can even tell Taker was mad after that match. He was like, no, not another one. The idea of them doing 2 more matches, no. No, I'm sorry. I don't need to see them. And I'm guarantee you, I'm not the only one. But we shall see. We shall see. This is going to wrap up around the point this week, guys. I hope that you guys enjoy this for what it was worth. I hope that all of you enjoy your Father's Day coming up tomorrow. I hope you all, again, have a fun time spending with your fathers, your uncles, your grandfathers, what have you. All that fun stuff. Again, a reminder, next week will be a Q&A edition of Around the Point. So again, ask your questions on Twitter @HeelSteven. Use the hashtag ATPoint. 3 questions per person. Ask whatever you want. Just don't send a repeated question. Again, send them on Twitter. At HeelSteven. Use the hashtag ATPoint. So I know for the Q&A. All right. Thank you all for tuning in this week. You can follow me on all social media. It's at HeelSteven. Everywhere. Literally. The Gram, Snapchat, Twitter. At HeelSteven. Also, episode 298 of the Team Meal Podcast is already available for downloading and all that stuff. We are 2 weeks away from episode 300. I cannot wait for that. My birthday week, episode 300 is going to go down. We still have not planned out what the fuck we're doing for that episode, but we'll keep you posted by episode 299 what's going to go down in episode 300. Okay? And that being said, guys, thank you all for watching. I look forward to seeing what you dorks send in the comment on Twitter at HeelSteven and all that fun stuff. That being said, guys, ask away. And this has been Around the Point. Peace out, dorks.